Hello, guys. This is Rudy here. I know you guys have been thinking the past 2 weeks, and we were not able to make videos. We really apologize for that. Circumstances happened 2 weeks ago. I had a vacation, and we were supposed to make a video last week, but Francisco was sick, so there was nothing we could do. And we are really committed to make consistent videos, weekly basis, and we really apologize for that. But I'm going solo for this video, and then the next video we'll be back on track with me and Francisco. And so I will first talk about the Alliance the Fire, which is Time's new their version of Hard Knocks, and it's really interesting too. It's really interesting. I will briefly talk about the first 3 episodes, and then when Francisco is back, we'll do the rest. And so essentially, this series is hyping up the training camp, which training camp is really fun. You get to see players in action. You get to see some things that is going to be really fun. And that is something me and Francisco will be going some of their practices. We'll capture the footage of some cool things that we saw. We'll give our analysis, overview of the practice, how the practice went, was it good, was it bad, anything like that. We'll be there, and we'll do our best to have a good content as we prepare for a training camp. So to start things off, the first episode was talking about Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel, he is the type of development type coach because he really cares about his players, and that's really important too because the previous Titans head coaches that we had, Mike Munchak, Ken Wissenhunt, Mike Mularkey. I mean, exception for that, Mike Mularkey, he really did his best, but again, arrogance was. I mean, the arrogance with Mike Mularkey pretty much got him fired. I mean, I'm pretty sure that he really cared about his players, but there were some things that Giants fans didn't like because of his old ways of sticking to his playbook. That things didn't work out. So Mike Vrabel, now again, he's a young head coach. Speaking prior that he's 40 something, which is pretty young. But anyways, this is his first time head coach, and I'm pretty sure he had experience with the Houston Texans, Ohio State, pretty much where he got started as a linebacker or coaching assistant with Ohio State. And we saw some footage. Him speaking to the players because he's very demanding. When he sees something wrong, what the players does, he actually teaches the players. And that's why I really like his personality. His personality is win mode. That's who he is. He likes to win. I like his attitude, and that will ultimately put him in a good situation. Now, the questions will remain to see is that can he make good time management? Does he have good time management skills? What I mean by that is in game situation, say 2 minutes, and say that you waste some timeouts. When you use timeouts, you don't never use it on the second half. First half you can, but second half you cannot do that because if you do, what if the Titans had to stop on the opposing team and they don't have timeouts and they're pretty much screwed. So that is something I need to see from Mike Vrabel. Can he do it? Can he have good ability to understand the game situation? That is something that the Titans that have to see is that can Frable do that? Can Frable can do what other coaches could not able to do cannot able to do when they were fired after bad management. So that's something I like to see from Mike Frable. I think overall from that episode is that we got the bare scoop of who he is, where he came from, his background, his resume, being a Patriot player, won multiple Super Bowls. And I think learning from his lessons and the wisdom from the Patriots will put him in a good situation with the Titans. I think he could be a good head coach with us. He then have to prove to us as fans that can he be a winning head coach? Can he be better than Mike Munchak, Ken Whisenhunt, Mike Mularkey? I mean, again, Mike Mularkey, he did his best, but arrogance is just got him fired. So I would like to see it. I would like to see what he can do. Now, the second episode after episode one was pretty much the offense, which was pretty much focused the quarterback and the wide receivers, basically. Now, the quarterback, we were not able to hear Marcus Mariota's personality. I would like to hear his personality, his audio, but Titans are who the Titans are. They like to just be hiding and not giving who his personality. Anyway, I mean, that's who the Titans are. They're being sensitive. But anyways, but the Titans, the quarterback Marcus Mariota, I see things that they're being improved on, and of course, there are coaches in the interview they were talking about the schemes, how when you have a scheme and we have a good basis and a good understanding, the quarterback can be able to master it, the scheme, the concept, the playbook. Now, Marcus Mariota in his career, he had to go through 3 different playbook, and that's horrible because the Titans, they were bad. They were bad during the time, but this is going to be his pretty much his first playbook, and it's going to be by his new offensive coach, Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur, he had a good resume. He was with the LA Rams, and although he didn't call offensive calls, but I like what he had worked with the previous quarterbacks. Some of them were mobile, and he turned them out to be good quarterbacks. Matt Ryan, RG3. RG3. We know that he was good, but when he was with RG3, he was able to make him a good quarterback, and that's what I like to see from him is that Marcus Mariota, if he's able to do what Matt LaFleur did, Matt Ryan, RG3, his rookie year. Oh my gosh, we're talking about he can throw like 30, 40 touchdowns, 3,000 passing yard. There's so many possibilities that so many what ifs, but that remains to be seen when the season starts. And I'm really excited. I like to see what's going to happen. I think Marcus Mariota will rebound from his not good year season 2017, but I think he'll regain back of who he is, the version of 2016, 2015. And if we need that version, boom, the Titans will be easily a 10 plus team, winning team. But That but still, there's still a lot of questions. Now, wide receivers. Oh boy, the real wide receivers. I've been hearing a lot of reports that it's been sloppy. The group has been sloppy. Now, granted, Rashawn Matthews, Corey Davis, they were. I mean, there was some confliction that some of them didn't practice, and they had to leave with Taiwan Taylor, Tajay Sharp, and yeah, it's just. I mean, pretty much you could pretty much tell that Rashawn Matthews is the guy, is the number one wide receiver on this team, and so that is pretty much my biggest concern is the wide receiver group. If the Titans want to get what to succeed further in the playoffs, the wide receivers need to step up. And you could talk whatever you want about Eric Decker, but when Marcus Mariota had to rely on Delanie Walker, Rashawn Matthews, Eric Decker, it's just there needs to be a way where Marcus Mariota has to pass different wide receivers, and it just pretty much tells you that some of them don't make good routes, and that really concerns me. That really does, and I really hope when training camp comes, I hope we hope to see a good progress with the wide receivers, because right now it's just hard. It's just hard to think about the wide receivers, because put it this way. If Marcus Mariota doesn't have anyone to rely on from last season, of course you'll have Delanie Walker, Rashawn Matthews, but say that they're hurt, that would be hard to think about in regards to the Titans. Yeah, it'll be pretty hard to rely on, and that's really critical for the Titans. That's really critical for this upcoming season. You're gonna face good teams. You're gonna face hard, difficult teams, and you need someone to make good catches, good routes, good scheme, good everything, because it will be hard. Last season we took a easy schedule, but this one will be harder. So that is something still questions to left hand to remain to be seen. But anyways, the last episode, episode 3, was about the running backs. I like how it was pretty much talking about Derrick Henry, Dion Lewis. These two players, I think they could be the conversations of a good comeback duo. And recently, DeMarco Murray retired, and he helped the Titans. Wherever you think about DeMarco Murray, he helped the team because he was really reliable. He was really the main reason why the Titans are irrelevant right now. But I really think DeMarco Murray, and so Derrick Henry, now is just pretty much his time. It's pretty much time to show his potential, to show his explosive potential. Because I see a lot of good things about Derrick Henry, and I think he could be the main back. Now, there's still questions about Derrick Henry and Dion Lewis, because some people believe Dion Lewis is going to be the starter and Derrick Henry will be the backup. I don't see it that way. It's going to be Derrick Henry, and of course Dion Lewis will be the third down back, and I don't have a problem with that, because it's going to be the same thing. Committed comeback duo, And this is what's going to be important in this league is that you need to have multiple running backs to step up in their game. Previous years, he used to be the main back doing the low work, but right now we are in this area where now it's like committed by committed running backs. So that is pretty much what we're heading into, and I won't. Now, don't get me wrong, Dion Lewis, I see some good things about him, but to remember, he was healthy. He was pretty much healthy last season. That was his first time. The previous season, he was injured. He was pretty much a injury prone player, but before, well, last season he was pretty much healthy. So that is something to keep an eye on. Is that can he be healthy this season? Can he able to do the plays? Because I see a lot of good things about him, and that really excites me about him. And so I think overall, I think the running back group will be really good. Derrick Henry is going to be Derrick Henry, and Dion Lewis is going to be something that we didn't have the times before a while when we had DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry. They were a pretty good group, but I think this group, it'll be the same, pretty good. So I think that's pretty much it for that episode, and a little bit brief conclusion. I feel no worries about this team. I think this team will be really, really good this season. I see no reason why they can't be terrible. So I'm really excited for training camp. Really excited for the Titans season. And yeah, so I'm really, really excited for that. So thank you guys for watching this video. Me going solo today, this video. But I promise you, me and Francisco will be back on basis in the next video about the Alliance the Fire. So thank you guys so much, and have a good day.